Imagine opening your banking app, and that number staring back at you feels almost insulting. Maybe it says $216. Maybe it says $734. Maybe it's even $7,342. But somehow it still feels like you're getting nowhere. And then you hear some finance expert online casually say something like, once you save your first $10,000, the next $10,000 becomes easy. Easy? When your credit card bill is breathing down your neck? When rent is due? When groceries cost more every month? That statement feels like a joke. But here's the part most people don't realize. They're actually not exaggerating. In fact, they're understating how dramatically things change once you cross that first financial milestone. Because the reason your first $1,000 feels impossible has nothing to do with intelligence, discipline, or even income. It has everything to do with how your brain is wired. And once you understand this, everything about money starts making a lot more sense. Let's start with something most people never think about. Your brain is not designed to make you wealthy. It's designed to keep you alive. Thousands of years ago, humans survived by grabbing resources immediately. If food appeared, you ate it. You didn't say, let me save this for retirement, because tomorrow wasn't guaranteed. Your brain learned a simple rule. Immediate rewards are more valuable than future rewards. Psychologists call this temporal discounting. It means your brain naturally values today's pleasure more than tomorrow's benefit. That's why spending $50 on dinner tonight feels exciting, but saving that same $50 for your future self feels boring. Your brain doesn't see the future clearly. It sees the future as some vague stranger. But tonight's burger? That's real. That's immediate. That's rewarding. So every time you try to save money, you're not just making a financial decision. You're fighting millions of years of evolutionary programming. And your brain will fight back. But that's only one part of the problem. There's another invisible force working against you, something psychologists call money scripts. These are the beliefs about money that got programmed into your mind as a child. Think about what you heard growing up. Maybe your parents constantly said, "We can't afford that." Maybe money caused arguments in your home. Maybe money was never talked about at all. Or maybe you heard phrases like, rich people are greedy. We're just not good with money. People like us don't become wealthy. These messages don't just disappear. They become subconscious beliefs, and those beliefs quietly guide your financial decisions every single day without you even realizing it. If your brain believes money causes stress, you'll unconsciously avoid accumulating it. If your brain believes wealth is for other people, you'll sabotage your own progress. Not intentionally, but psychologically. There's another trick your brain plays on you. It treats money differently depending on where it came from. This is called the house money effect. Money you earn from work feels serious, important, hard to part with. But money you get from a tax refund, or a birthday gift, or finding cash in an old jacket, suddenly that money feels like free money, so you spend it, quickly. Even though logically every dollar is identical, your brain categorizes money in weird ways that constantly undermine your financial progress. And these psychological traps are exactly why saving your first $1,000 feels so brutal. Because at that stage, your behavior is doing 100% of the work. There's no momentum, no investment returns, no psychological reward, just discipline and patience. But something fascinating happens once you cross that first milestone. Your brain begins to change its story about you. There's a psychological concept called self-efficacy. It simply means believing you're capable of succeeding. When you have zero savings, your brain struggles to imagine having $10,000. It feels unrealistic. But when you reach $1,000, your brain suddenly has proof. Proof that you can save money. Proof that you can control your spending. Proof that progress is possible. And that mental shift is incredibly powerful. Now, let's talk about the mathematics, because this is where things get really interesting. Imagine you decide to save $100 every month. Not 1,000, not 500, just 100. At that rate, it takes 10 months to save your first $1,000. 10 months of saying no. 10 months of skipping things. 10 months of feeling like progress is painfully slow. But once you have that $1,000, you can start investing it. Let's assume a modest 7% annual return. Nothing crazy, just the long-term average of the stock market. Now your money starts working with you instead of only depending on your savings. Your second $1,000 might take about 9 months, your third $1,000 around 8.5 months, your fourth $1,000 around 8 months, and slowly, something powerful begins happening. Your money starts earning money. By the time you reach $10,000 invested, something amazing occurs. At a 7% return, that money generates about $700 per year without you doing anything. No overtime, no extra work, no side hustle. Your money is working 24 hours a day, while you sleep, while you work, while you watch Netflix. And that's when your brain starts to understand the system. You open your investment account, and instead of dread, you feel excitement, because now progress is visible. Now saving feels rewarding, and the psychology flips completely. Instead of seeing saving as deprivation, you begin seeing spending as the thing that steals from your future. This transformation is why wealthy people think about money differently. Most people believe money is about buying things, but wealthy people understand something deeper. Money buys freedom. When you have zero savings, you have zero options. You take the job you can get, you live where you can afford, you tolerate situations you hate. But when you have $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 saved, you gain something incredibly valuable: choice. You can leave a toxic job. You can take risks. You can start a business. You can move cities. You can invest in yourself. Money stops being about survival and starts being about possibility. But here's something most financial advice completely misses. Spending isn't always about money. It's often about emotion. People buy lunch every day because it's the only enjoyable part of a stressful job. People shop because it provides a quick dopamine hit. People go out drinking because they're lonely. In other words, many spending habits are really attempts to buy happiness. That's why telling someone to just stop spending rarely works, because you can't fix an emotional problem with a mathematical solution. The real change happens when people replace those emotional rewards. Instead of feeling excited about buying something new, they start feeling excited about watching their investments grow. Instead of feeling proud of expensive purchases, they feel proud of a rising net worth. And when that shift happens, saving stops feeling like a sacrifice. It starts feeling like winning a game, and the numbers become even more exciting. At $20,000 invested, a 7% return generates about $1,400 per year. At $50,000, your investments produce about $3,500 annually. That's nearly $300 per month arriving without effort. You've essentially created a worker that never sleeps, never complains, and never asks for a raise. Your money has become your employee. And the more employees you create, the faster wealth grows. But most people never experience this transformation because they quit during the hardest phase, those first brutal months, when progress feels invisible, when temptation is constant, when the reward hasn't appeared yet. They look at their small savings account and think, this isn't working. But what they don't realize is they're often just months away from the breakthrough, the point where momentum begins, the point where psychology flips, the point where saving becomes easier instead of harder. Building wealth isn't about making huge sacrifices forever. It's about making small sacrifices temporarily, long enough for compound growth to take over. Once momentum builds, your money starts carrying more of the weight. And that's when everything changes. Your mindset, your habits, your confidence, your future. So if you're struggling to save your first $1,000, you're not broken. You're not bad with money. You're simply standing at the hardest part of the journey, the point where your brain is fighting you the most. Push through that stage, and the entire game starts to change. Your future self will thank you for it. And if today's video gave you a new way to think about money, do yourself a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop me a comment telling me your first financial goal. Because the moment you decide to start is the moment your financial story begins to change.